Seems like it.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 2 seconds. Right.
None.
No seconds.
Okay, I'll go. So, we began at the mystery hut. We learned that there were several traps scattered around the place. For that, we started to hunt some rabbits to get some food. Varnex managed to nail one with the dart. Two managed to come out. Spin kicked both of them. Carrick decided to throw a spear at one, and Adissa decided to maul the other one. So we got 2 rabbits for food. Delicious. So we approach the cabin, and it turns out it is an old acquaintance from someone we met in the cave with the Sphinx. We spoke, we decided to leave, and then eventually we came across what appeared to be a small pool of sorts. Halfir, transfixed from his visions, decided to baptize himself. Following behind, we all decided to douse our heads with the water from the pool. And then we found ourselves in this area.
Yes.
And that's about it.
The most important part, however, is that Nadissa had almost made a proper sail. I'm just currently messing with something on the side, so give me a second. Making sure everything is correct. Okay, that should be a biggity about that. As for a bit more context, as you'd all joined in the baptism, you all had felt a flash of light. The water seemed to react to your presence and summon some kind of pillar almost, and with that bright light you were all removed from your previous location and transported here. Looking around in your immediate vicinity, firstly, if you looked up, you would see above you what looks to be a series of tiles along the roof that match the ground you're on, except for some of them seem to have these little like slithers of blue, of very faint light that flicker every now and again. As well, you see what looks to be a very wide, like 30-foot circle above you, possibly noting where you just came in from. As of the moment, you guys are like still slightly reeling over the brightness, and you do feel slightly disoriented for a moment, and you guys are kind of like just like rubbing your temples or like readjusting yourselves. Some of you are like rubbing the corners of your eyes, and you're just coming back to. As you look around, this place has a smell of decay, but it's more so that it's one of those that it's been blended into the building itself by this point. This place is incredibly old. It is possibly ancient. You can see a pit below to some extent from the distance, completely covered in this bluish kind of fog that covers a lot of the view of whatever is beneath you, but you can still easily see a series upon series of bones, all of which look almost pitch black and heavily aged. There looks to be something leading down, the fog seemingly emanating from that, but the fog doesn't ever get any further than the floating tiles that form a weird kind of like magical bridge almost. These tiles in front of you, the ones that are floating above this abyss, they don't make any other movement. They stay perfectly in place. Not a single moment do they stop flickering. The lights emanating off of them that reveal their colour, this symbol that each of them is supposed to represent, are resemblant to the tiles that are in front of you. and you look dead ahead at the end of the hallway. You see a large wall of light blocking, but not visually stopping you from seeing through, what looks to be weirdly nothing. Behind the wall of light itself appears to be just a 5 foot extra space that is just a wall behind it. Though you sense, for more hopeful reasons, that it's maybe some kind of illusion, or there's something that's supposed to trigger when you figure out whatever this is. Beyond all of that, however, you see two giant statues with these massive maws that they don't really feel like they're anything, but at the very least looking at them makes you all feel uneasy, just as a natural instinct, not because they're actually exuding any aura toward you. As you guys look around for the last couple of seconds and you've all come to, the tiles on the ground are actually tiles. They're not, well, you don't know about how heavy they would be, but at the very least looking at them, you can pick them up, you can move them around as and when you please. There are these two blue flames hovering to the left and right of it, leading towards this symbol bridge that are flickering very gently. And outside of that, you can see a skeleton to your left with a torch that seems to be just barely flickering just to the left of even that. On the skeleton's person, you can see its body is hunched forward, its legs seemingly crossed. The ribcage is broken and the body is like contorted in a weird way, and one of the arms has completely fallen off with time. But you can see in the other arm, in the palm of what's left of the skeletal remains, you can see what looks to be a single piece of parchment that's been clutched tight and is almost like scrunched, but has been loosened over the years. What do you guys want to do?
Where's the parchment again?
Over here, with a skelly boy.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go grab it.
For the sake of context, nobody be scared. I will just drop this here, so you actually have a proper visual, because that thing is gone to crap.
Ooh.
I'm
Spooky,
terrified.
scary skeletons.
Yes, yes indeed. So yeah, it's currently clutched tightly by the skeleton, though doesn't say much considering it's an undead.
Okay. I'm going to try and grab it.
Okay. It takes a couple of seconds, and you're gonna have to like really like bend and break some of the fingers just to get hold of it. But yeah, you pry the paper free, you flick it open. You see small parts of it kind of like fizzle away as if it's been aged that much. On the paper, you already see it at the top of the handouts list, but the Sunder puzzle, it has written on there what each of the tiles identify as. So for the sake of context, you now know that 1 means identify, 2 means journey, so on and so forth.
Nah.
But also,
do we have it like somewhere in the Sunder puzzle? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but also on the parchment, what languages do you speak, Sol?
I speak the language of truth.
Cool.
No.
These.
Do. Okay, you don't know.
Okay then. So I don't know. Mozzie doesn't know. Pa. So right now we have nothing other than the, one is this, the other is this, and all of those. And I see that it's matching. So like this is this. I don't actually put it here just as a demonstration.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you guys think? Think we should just try to make our way, like putting its symbol on platform and see how we can make it to the other side like that? Or do you think there's something else here?
So, the only thing on the parchment is just what these symbols mean. No text, no riddle, or anything like that.
Nope.
There is something, but I don't know it, right?
Yep.
Okay,
there is
would I
something.
know what language it is? Or I'll just show it around, and if someone has it, just raise their hands.
Everybody,
you
show me what
by any
languages.
Alright, go to.
Anyone have comprehend languages or something like that?
Oh yeah. Wait, they do. Huh. So if no one knows, I'll just do that.
Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Let me just double check. Rick and Halfir, why did they come onto the screen? That is really odd. I'll have to reload that in a second.
Wait, hold on. But does it work like that with? Takes about 1 minute to read 1 page of text. Okay.
Any written
So
languages you see,
Written language.
which it is.
You also understand any written language you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute, blah blah blah. This spell doesn't decode secret messages in a text or a guild, such as an arcane sigil that isn't part of a written language. So I would be able to understand, technically,
Mm-hmm.
I would be able to understand.
I'm just double checking Brick and Halfir, and then
Yeah.
I will let you know.
What about Medusa?
That is all.
Uh-huh.
I doubt it's an Arborean though.
Okay, so he can't and he can't. Okay. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. So, it is in specifically giant, of which our dear Carrick does know. And to be more specific, Carrick, you recognize the writing, but not the style. You recognize the writing to be specifically Cloud Giant. The skeleton to your left there is... The frame is tall, for sure, but it's absolutely not a giant. It could have possibly been one of the more sturdier races, like an orc or something. But you recognize it as Cloud Giant writing. And it does say, if it will allow me to show it, I've just added it to the top. Note from the skeleton.
Be wary, a seeker, the turns of the hold truth, familiarity of our tool.
Be wary, V Seeker. The tales of thee hold the truth. Familiarity will allow you to walk, but cooperation will let you stay along. Right.
Does that mean one person needs to be on the tiles and someone needs to be on this end manipulating these tiles?
Or
Don't
we
really
need
know.
to pass the tiles to each other.
Tiles will do.
not really a poet, so I can't really say I know it really.
This thing's words are tricky.
Yeah, words are tricky.
Mirror.
I do enjoy the little puzzle that gets everyone thinking.
Okay, so
Oh wait, sorry.
Hmm?
Does anyone need inspiration?
yes.
Okay, so since I did a recap, I'll give you the inspiration. Just
Oh,
remember
thank
about that.
Nice.
It'll cost you $5.
To get.
I like how you asked for the money
well,
neither of
also-
you have or use,
Yeah.
just to be more inconvenient.
Sure, I'll transfer it to pounds and then I'll transfer it to dollars. That sounds good.
It's fine.
Nah, just send it through PayPal. It's fine.
Mhm. I'll send it in the mail, like a $5 bill.
The $2 bill.
It'll be there by 2077.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone got any ideas?
I have a suggestion.
Mm.
What if we did what I said before, like put this on this and try to stand on it? What do you guys say? Just, if we're not doing anything, then we might as well do something.
We do need to do something. Lee, how deep is the drop?
You don't know.
Can I go up and look and deduce?
You still don't know. You can make a perception check, but due to
Can I grab, like, a
disadvantage.
Can I grab like a loose rock and just lower it and see what happens?
Okay.
See if it falls and I can hear a clatter.
So you find one that's gently resting against the edge, and you look down, you see it, you give it a little kick, and you first hear it clattering along the sides of the wall beneath you, and then it kind of disappears into silence for a little bit, and then it's just silence. You either don't ever hear it land, or it lands eventually so deep down that, yeah, it would be
Okay.
painful.
How heavy are these tiles?
Any one person can carry 2 of them. They're about like one to maybe 2 kilos in weight.
If we
Okay.
do the option of someone standing on one of these tiles in front, while someone holds one of these, if one of these tiles falls, we could lose one of these 9 tiles that we've got, and we may need them. Do we have any more rope?
Yes.
Because we can tie it around someone's waist while they jump onto one of the tiles in case
I
they
mean,
fall.
I have, the thing where, what's it called? Misty Step. So I can just. Whoop.
That cantrip was an actual spell.
No, it's a spell.
Nah, it's an actual spell, but I have enough sorcery points and I have enough.
Just to check as well, you guys have had days of rest. Is everyone fully restored? Okay.
Now I am.
You might be.
I am.
It might be easier for you to save your spell slots in case.
Sure,
If you
then-
tie rope around someone's waist, we can all hold onto it to pull them back in case anything happens.
Yeah, then I have a rope. Sure, tie it to me because I'm pretty light as it is. It's not gonna be a problem for all of you. I'll even leave the backpack like behind for just for the test. Just so you'll have easier time to pull me up if shit happens.
Are we tying it down, or are we like holding on to it?
Just hold on to it. It should be fine. I mean, between the three of you, lifting feeble old me. It's not going to suck me down, I think. Lee, don't get any idea.
Hey, look,
Um,
I have something far worse in store for you if you get it wrong.
Oh,
Can I?
that's nice.
Sorry, I was gone real quick. I was just putting something in the oven. Can I, if it hasn't been done, or like of obvious and I've been told, can I check this like skeleton dude? Like maybe like what happened to him?
Okay. Make a medicine check.
I will make a medicine check.
He's got a smashed in rib cage, so it doesn't look like it's been completely destroyed. It looks more like something had hit the creature there in his life, and at some point either he couldn't complete this puzzle and so he just kind of had to give in and he eventually died, and as the body started decaying, that weakened point in his chest had just fallen out at some point, or something has destroyed it
Okay.
while he was a skeleton, but you're not too sure.
Wait, did you say there were symbols on the ceiling as well?
Yeah, but they're faintly glowing. They look to be similar to the ones that are in front of you. However, they're not glowing as strongly. And they are... It's kind of like a flickering light effect every now and again.
Okay, I think I might have an idea based on what you were just saying to Sol, that you have something planned. Maybe these tiles won't fall into the abyss. Maybe they'll cause like a laser beam, which will attach to the symbols on the tiles and the one above below. So I'm thinking maybe if someone stands on this tile, they need to grab hold of this tile and just hold it above their head in case a laser comes down and they're protected. That's one thing that's coming to mind. Unless anyone else has any other ideas.
Yeah, I can just. My idea is essentially just put the matching tile on one another and stand on it just to see what happens. Because we can move those, and I'm pretty sure it's for a reason. But yeah, we can like do what you said with this, or maybe I just missed the entire point and you said what I'm just saying.
I will say as well, do remember that at a certain point, you guys will need these tiles a second, third, or even fourth time. So plan ahead. Because look at the row ahead of you. You only
Okay,
have
so-
one of each tile available.
So it's like leapfrog. So, for example, this symbol is repeated 2 more times on this path.
But,
This
as well, do remember the note from the skeleton. Cooperation is key.
This path, maybe not, because this symbol is repeated right next to each other, if that theory is correct.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. But we
Same
can
with-
go like from here to here,
Oh, we can zigzag.
like diagonally.
You mean like that?
Yeah, exactly. So
Ah,
we can
right.
do like a path. Let's draw on the map. Lee, I'm gonna draw.
Go,
on the
yeah, go for it.
So let's say we start here. And we go here. Should be fine. Here. And let's say there's only one person on it. Ah, we're stuck because all three of those are not good for us that we'll need here. So we can start
Not
from
entirely.
here.
Unless you try this one, but it's a 10-foot.
Can we jump it or?
Unless
I've got an idea.
Mm-hmm. I mean, just on the map, it's going to be easier than just.
Yeah, I do plan to, but right. game plan that I have in mind upon looking at it. We have that.
Yeah.
Don't we?
But we
Which
have
is
all of those, essentially.
tile free.
Yeah.
Literally, all we would need someone to do is to chuck that tile or hold it. And either if we have a person put it down and then jump on it, see if it's stable, then all we would need to do is just to have another person pass that tile next, put that down, and then just have people move in unison to add on to the next tile. And then when we have enough people, just have one person try and reach over to that tile and chuck it on them and try and move along.
Yeah, but let's say there's just one person on each tile. It's going to be an issue because we're not going to have enough people. So what I'm trying to
I've got an idea.
think is
Actually.
a path, because
Oh.
I don't think we can start on the middle one.
Yeah. Mozzie.
Wait,
Hmm?
sorry. Before we
Yeah.
start, can I just try something?
Yes, okay.
Mhm.
You can.
Can I just grab a bone from here? And just... Sorry, can I just grab a bone from around here
Mhm.
and just toss it on top of one tile and see if there's a reaction?
Okay. So you just pick up one of the skelly's bones and just chuck it over. As it lands, it rests on the middle of the tile. You kind of look around. You look up, nothing's changed. You look at the tile, and nothing's changed.
Worth a shot.
Yeah. So let's say we start on the right one, then we can go here, 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 here. No, that's not good, so we can go here and then here. And then we can pass like this, I think, to either here or here. And then we can go like here, 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 and here.
Could be
Or-
crazy enough to want.
We can go from here to here.
I don't think that'll work. There's 6 of us. These 2 symbols are the same,
Yeah.
and they're 5 apart.
Okay,
So
hold on.
going by our
Let me-
theory, one person will get cooked.
Okay, so that's
We need to make sure that...
one.
I've got a somewhat mild theory about all this. Firstly,
We don't need a hint. We can do it ourselves. We're smart enough.
if you
Nah,
say
joking.
so.
Nah, sorry. What were you gonna say?
It mentioned cooperation. Given that this is the temple of a water goddess, I would assume that we must do this in waves. And by that I assume, since there's more than 3 of us, I'm hoping that the way it'll work is once we've triggered one of the layers of 3, they then become deactivated or subdued, and then we can continue on. But again, this is just me going off of what I assume should be the case.
Once we activate what?
Once you activate one of the rows, so hold on, so like imagine that's row 1, that's row 2, etc.
So it's like locked in place.
Possibly.
We can try.
So wait, are you saying on the 3rd row? So if, say, we are on the 4th row, the 1st row will be deactivated.
What I'm saying is, after we've done whatever we need to on each of the rows, that row should be completed. we shouldn't have to worry about it anymore. But again, this is solely speculation. It did mention cooperation.
Do you guys think maybe the identity journey ascension thing as a thing?
Identity.
Hey, Luke,
Mm.
out of curiosity,
Mm.
how old do these tiles look?
I mean, they're currently covered in dust until you guys start actually moving them. But in terms of like how they're doing, you kind of look down at them, maybe even with a gentle little tap. They feel sturdy. They don't look worn and torn. They just look like slabs, really. Strange blue tiles with some rune of some kind engraved into them, each meaning assorted things.
I have a crazy idea. It involves some ingenuity, and it also involves a little bit of risk.
Okay.
And that would be, we would need someone who's somewhat flexible and nimble to mayhaps volunteer.
Looks at the monks.
Cough, cough.
Varnix just gives Carrot like a flat stare.
Well, it would probably involve tying a rope around you, and also tying another bit of rope around the end of the first bit of rope, so that we've got enough. And I've got a hammer. If anyone's got any climbing tools like a piton, that would be great.
Yeah, I have it.
Because what I could do is try and chisel a nice smaller hole through each tile, enough for a hole for the rope to actually slide in, well, to fit into it. And the person who's tied to the rope, we can pass the tiles as they progress forward bit by bit.
Yeah, we can try that.
But the reason I say it can be dodgy is because, well, if by chance that I don't actually nail the tile precisely and perfectly, there is a chance that I could send a crack through the entire tile.
Do the tiles look magical in any way?
I mean, they're faintly shimmering at all points in time, so slightly.
I look to Halfie and Soul, those who are more knowledgeable in the magical area. Would affecting the tiles potentially damage the magical nature of them or anything like that?
Should I roll for something?
Yep. Arcana check.
Arcana.
With the most base knowledge, it depends on who, what, and when a magical item was crafted. Usually, in terms of this, you guys have no idea how old these things are, like specifically, or who crafted them, why they were crafted. But typically speaking, damaging a magically crafted item is not easy. You have to go to so many high degrees of levels. Stuff like Dispel Magic can make it inert temporarily, so you can destroy stuff. But other than that, you'd need to literally drop shit in acid, in a freaking volcano, and cast spells of such a high potency that it's greater than the thing you're targeting to destroy it. It is not a simple process by any means.
One does not simply destroy a magic tile.
Yes.
Exactly. And I say that shit should be good for your plan.
The problem being that even attempting to chip it, the chances of him breaking any part of these tiles is very slim. He would actually have to go full force to even get a chance of chipping it slightly. And even then, if he does it too well, he will possibly break it and ruin the enchantment. And if you happen to ruin the enchantment, you don't entirely know what that means for this trial.
Let's just try the original idea of tying someone with a rope just to see what happens. I have no problem of jumping on a tile with another tile, if that's what we want. Just to check.
I'll give it a go.
Okay. Do you guys tie him up, get him all nice and prim and proper?